I'm Scott Edelman, writer, editor, and podcaster, but first of all, a fan who attended his first conventions dedicated to the fantastic in the early 70s and hasn't stopped since. One of the things I learned pretty quickly back then was sneaking away from those cons with friends was as much fun as the cons themselves. You didn't get to eavesdrop on the first couple of thousand meals I had with creators from the science fiction, fantasy, horror, and comics communities, but in February 2016, that changed when I launched Eating the Fantastic to share those wonderful worlds and those wonderful people with you. Since then, thanks to the support and encouragement of the Patreon community, I've produced 100 episodes, letting you eavesdrop on 165 guests across more than 173 hours of ear candy. I've dined with old pros like William F. Nolan, George R. R. Martin, and Pat Cadigan, interviewed exciting new writers such as Amal El-Mohtar, Sarah Pinsker, and Brooke Bolender, and even caught up with old friends from my Marvel bullpen days like Marv Wolfman, Jerry Conway, and Don McGregor. When I started Eating the Fantastic, it was just with the idea that interviews would be more fun recorded in restaurants than in sterile studios, but I soon learned something counterintuitive. Our conversations were oddly much more intimate, surrounded by other diners, than they would have been if we were alone, instead of being on and going into formal I am being interviewed mode, which can often lead to canned responses. My guests become more relaxed and sometimes even forget you're listening in. But this method comes with a cost, and not just the usual ones associated with podcasts. I shuttle my guests from convention centers to restaurants and back, for example, and most importantly, put that food in their mouths that has them feeling, don't worry, this is just a couple of friends chatting. And as I begin bringing you the next 100 episodes, I'm hoping you'll chip in. There are all sorts of rewards for backers, such as access to a patrons-only blog, getting a shout out on the show, a quarterly online hangout, stickers, postcards, and more. If you enjoy what I'm doing here and want this podcast to continue, please join with the others already supporting Eating the Fantastic, because I will never run out of voices of creators worth sharing. Thank you.